One night, a girl is walking through a forest. Bang! A shriek of terror rings in her ears. What was that? She thought, starting to walk faster. As she goes farther into the forest, she hears a tree branch snap behind her. She turns back and horror floods her eyes as she sees a girl as pale as ice and blood all over her. Don't be afraid. You're lost, aren't you? Said the strange girl. Her voice was so eerie, I wanted to scream. She starts to walk closer, and I start to run. For some reason, I couldn't remember where I lived. I'm lost with that creature coming for me, I murmured under my breath. Soon I found a cottage in the middle of the woods. Maybe I can hide there. When I walked in, there were schoolgirls like me, laying lifeless on the floor. I see you found my home, the voice says behind me. I freeze in my track, just slowly turning around. It was the ghostly figure again. Is it the end for me? I thought. As she pulls something from behind her back, I faint from the smell of rotting corpses. When I woke up, I was in my own house. But something didn't feel right. What happened? Why can't I remember anything? I thought, until yesterday's memories surged into my head. My eyes widened in terror. I looked around to make sure I wasn't anywhere near there anymore. The walls looked old. As I walked out of the room, there was a very long corridor ahead. I walk through, and things feel more narrow and strange. It felt like the house was moving. Suddenly my head starts to spin and I feel lighter. I run faster and faster until I notice I haven't made a dent going through the corridor. Looking back, and suddenly I'm in a new room. Everywhere you turn, there were clocks. It said it was almost midnight. The ghostly figure walked toward me. So this is where you went. I have to say, your soul is very intriguing. How did you disappear earlier? It said, looking at me like I was going to be food. What do you mean? I said, backing up into a wall. Where did the hallway go? It was just right behind me, I thought. So you don't know? Well, you're supernatural, of course. That's why I came. I came to collect your soul for me. I want your power. It said as it came closer. I flinched, turning my head away as much as I could. Of course, once I did that, I'm in another room. Did I do that? Was what that thing said true? I wondered. Suddenly, bang! Stop running, little girl, and accept your fate. A voice boomed over the whole house very angrily. What's happening? I have to go now. And I fade off to another destination once again. As I run, the ghost comes closer and closer, and I'm frightened, as it wants my soul. I didn't even know that souls existed. Aren't those just made up things to say how you think? So I run. I'm back in the forest again. Running and running. Why is it chasing me? What's so special about my soul? I need to go. But suddenly, I stopped. I couldn't move. I couldn't think properly. I couldn't hear anything around me. Until I heard the wind blowing right behind me. Figures in black with red eyes started staring at me behind the trees. They stepped closer and closer. You can hear the chit-chat going through Who them? It's a crowd of hundreds and hundreds. I need to leave now. But how did I leave like those other few times? I couldn't figure it out. So I just stopped. Stopped thinking. Except for one place. I wanted to go home. But where? Where do I go? How do I do it? Going through the crowd, you can see the girl looking at me. Did you think you could escape me? She said. I just want to go home. Well, it's too bad. You have to stay with us, she says, coming closer and closer. Everything went dark. But I didn't know where I was. How do I get home? Hey guys, thank you for listening to this audio. I know it might sound weird with how I sound, but I just wanted to try something new, and I know the drawing doesn't match the storyline, but I'll do that later. And I know I have not posted another episode for the werewolf roleplay. I will get those done. We're still working on a few things for it. I'm also thinking about doing some animation for going over my life if you would like to hear that. But other than that, that's it. So, thank you for joining. Peace out, my Islanders.